We've moved from the family dance to the jazz band ball here at the Holiday Inn, and they're an excellent band. In just a moment, we're going to give you an opportunity to listen to them. But at this particular moment, as Rob mentioned, I grabbed momentarily Mr. Ken Lajam, who is president of the Ontario Winter Carnival. Let me begin by saying PM Magazine is delighted to be here and be part of the festival all this week, or carnival, I should say. And we want to congratulate you and all those who've been working so diligently preparing this based on all the fantastic festivities on this, the opening day. Looks like it's going to be a very exciting week. And since this particular carnival does run until Sunday of this week, I wonder, would you tell us, please, what are the highlights? I know there are many events, but what are the highlights that people who and our viewers could still take advantage of yet this week at the Bonsu Carnival?
Well, first off, we've had a great day with PM Magazine, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done thus far. And the carnival surely kicked off well tonight, with thousands of people down at the park for all the fireworks and all those things. And coming up this week, there's a lot of good things, and if you don't mind referring to these things.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of things for different people. This is Monday night's program, and on Tuesday we have an interest factor for the ladies, a major fashion show in the hotel at the Ramada. We say this in the Holiday Inn, it being the host hotel, and a great job they've done for us. And Wednesday is Bon Appetit Bonsu, which is a major baking contest for all the gals in town.
Great.
1,200 people in this ballroom for that, so we'd like you to join us for that.
Great.
On Thursday, a major sports celebrity dinner, and we're bringing a lot of guest speakers noted from the U.S., and that's going to be a major one. That's at noon on Thursday, and you can get programs all through the Upper Peninsula for those things.
Excellent.
And Friday, there's square dancing and the old-time dance, and we come into a very strong weekend in terms of outdoor spectator things, with the ice bikers here from all of Michigan and Canada.
Excellent.
And a major beer fest or winter fest at the Memorial Gardens having to do with the Kiwanis Club, which is they're putting that on, and that's a major one.
Great.
What else would you like?
Oh, Ken, that sounds pretty exciting. Sounds like there's so much for everyone to do, and we encourage, of course, our viewers to come up. Remember, there's a 30% exchange rate here in Canada on your money. So it sounds like a great week of events and activities. Ken, again, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for inviting PM. We're very, very excited to be here, and join us throughout this week on PM for more events. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Kathy, and thank you, Ken, for joining us tonight on PM Magazine. And now let's see what we have for you on tomorrow's show.
Most people know Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, the crazy pilot on the A-Team.
Man, why you gotta act stupid all the time, man?
Tomorrow on PM Magazine, see another side of Dwight that will surprise you.
Then, these Army recruits at Fort Dix, New Jersey couldn't believe their eyes when Saturday night rolled around. See what happened when two squads of NFL cheerleaders entertained the troops at home.
And when this teenager died, his family turned their tragic loss into a gift of life. Meet two organ recipients who are getting a second chance.
What a great way to start the week on PM Magazine with all these fun festivities, kicking off the Bonsu Carnival here in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. And we've got great events scheduled for you throughout the week on PM. In fact, tomorrow night we're going to take you snowmobiling.
But right now we're going to sit down and enjoy the big band sound of the Sioux Jazz Band. They'll be performing St. Louis Blues for us for the next few seconds. We'll see you tomorrow night on PM Magazine.
Good night.
Most people know Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, the crazy pilot on the A-Team.
Man, why you gotta act stupid all the time, man?
Tonight on PM Magazine, see another side of Dwight that will surprise you.
Then, these Army recruits at Fort Dix, New Jersey couldn't believe their eyes when Saturday night rolled around. See what happened when two squads of NFL cheerleaders entertained the troops at home.
And when this teenager died, his family turned their tragic loss into a gift of life. Meet two organ recipients who are getting a second chance.
We're enjoying one of the favorite pastimes here in the Sioux, Canada area, snowmobiling, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of PM Magazine. I'm Rob Hazelton.
And I'm Kathy Grabal. Thank you for joining us again tonight at Bon Sioux, the Ontario Winter Carnival here in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. And as Rob mentioned, quite obviously, we're enjoying some snowmobile events tonight. In fact, we had a chance to take this little gem for a ride. Has the potential of going 100 miles an hour, if you can believe it, but we rode it much more conservatively. And the show tonight is hosted by Snowmobile Algoma.
Now, this is a non-profit volunteer organization which has been in operation for about 4 years here in the Sioux, Canada area. 600 miles of groomed snowmobile trails, and these trails tie in 12 communities here in the Sioux, Canada area. Now, as part of the Bon Sioux Carnival later on in the week, Friday through Sunday, they'll be sponsoring the Northern Lights Snowmobile Festival, and we'll be telling you more about that and showing you some more snowmobiling later on in the show.
Now let's talk about our first story tonight. Most fans of TV's top-rated A-Team know Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, the crazy pilot. But in real life and off-camera, Dwight is a very serious actor who has performed in many off-Broadway shows, and he continues to be very active in the theater.
And our Dale Haramoto met him on the A-Team set after finally tracking him down at a warehouse, and come to find out, along with other elements of this series, the A-Team's locations are unpredictable.
A warehouse somewhere in L.A. So what, you might say? Well, this warehouse just happens to be where they store the ingredients for one of America's most popular TV shows.
You only have to hear the gunfire and get a glimpse of the familiar faces to know that this is the set of one of TV's most controversial hits, the A-Team. George Peppard plays the team's brainy leader, Hannibal Smith. There's Dirk Benedict as the handsome, irresistible Templeton Peck, and of course, that one-of-a-kind mechanic and heavy of all heavies, Mr. T. But the fourth member of the team, Howling Mad Murdoch, is a hero of a different sort, an ace pilot who's got a reputation for having his head in the clouds, even when he's not flying a plane.
Oh, great wooden face, your braves, led by almighty troubled warrior running round, score a big victory today against the punk face who talked with forked tongue. Maybe we even get him picture in the newspaper.
But if Murdoch is an unlikely candidate for a hard-hitting crew like the A-Team, the actor who plays him seems equally out of place. Dwight Schultz spent the first 15 years of his career not on TV, but on the stage. He played with regional repertory companies as well as off and on Broadway, opposite such high-powered stars as Maggie Smith and Glenn Close. So what's a serious actor whose idol is Laurence Olivier doing on a TV series best known for its car crashes and shoot-'em-ups? Well, according to Dwight, he's working just as hard as ever.
It's improvisation. I mean, as you see, there's no time for rehearsal. You get the script the night before you start shooting, and you get up there and you wing it. And that's a challenge for anybody. And you work just as hard at this as anything you do on Broadway.
All right. Action.
And as far as comparing this show to the more serious performances he's given, Dwight again finds the A-Team just as challenging as the best of them, despite complaints the series lacks social significance.
When you're trying to turn out 1 hour of nothing a week that's entertaining, I mean, really, that's it. Right? I mean, this is what they say, write about nothing for an hour and make it entertaining. Now, where do you go? Now, you say, well, you really do have a format. I mean, you know, the A-Team, you have an adventure show. It's got to be an adventure show. If it's not an adventure show, if you don't have X number of car crashes, people aren't going to tune in because they want that. And they also have to be able to drink their beer and talk to someone and come back and be able to follow the story. That's not easy. People think it's easy, but it's not. So in many ways, without rehearsal, you have to say this is probably the most difficult, this is, for me, is one of the most difficult things I've ever done.
Notice the frown. The brow slightly tense.
One aspect of the show that has a lot of meaning is that word team in its title. Working together the way these guys do has obviously created a genuine team spirit among the cast.
What do you think of your co-stars?
George Peppard, a wealth of information for me, and sort of a father off camera, you know.
Dwight is a very intense actor. He's very professional. And I think he has plenty of talent to have his own television series.
Dwight's an intellectual, but, you know, those kind of people often lapse into an arrogance that gets them into trouble. And Dwight is no exception. Where is he?
Dirk is a cattleman from Montana. He's always talking about cows.
What do you think of Dwight Schultz?
Tell the truth, Bonita. What do you love? Tell the truth.
Man, why you gotta act stupid all the time, man? Are y'all finished with the interview? Yeah. Get out of here.
I love that character. He keeps me amused. We spend a lot of time laughing. But Dwight is a much more serious person than that as well.
Actress Wendy Fulton is in a better position to know what makes Dwight tick than anybody. She's his wife, and, more recently, his co-producer.
What's that book you were reading, Cameron, while I was fishing?
In the midst of the A-Team's mayhem, Dwight and Wendy are keeping in touch with the serious side of show business by producing a little-known play by J.M. Barrie, author of Peter Pan.
It's an amazing experience for both of us to actually get something off of its feet and say, we're doing it. It's amazing. It's like watching a birth.
It all adds up to an actor named Dwight Schultz and a career that seems to have lots of surprises left in store for Dwight and his growing army of fans.
A surprising fact about Dwight is that he's very active in the Arthritis Foundation, and he helps kids who are suffering from juvenile arthritis.
Dwight tells us that it's his way of giving something back to the society that has given him so much.
And coming up next here on PM Magazine, we'll meet the Pom Pom Girls who are cheering on the U.S. Army.